Lines. The worst part of a Walt Disney World experience. Nobody likes standing around for 45 minutes just so they can ride a 2-minute ride. So how can Disney make the line experience better? First off, this is just some fun armchair imagineering. I'm sure some of, if not all of, these ideas have impracticalities. This is just for fun and for the sake of creative brainstorming. Now today we have a couple of measures in place to try and ease the pain of waiting in line for our favorite rides. We have fastpass, which allows guests to be assigned a specific time window to return so that they can get on a shorter line that runs express to the ride. We also have a few queues with interactive elements such as games or trivia or stuff you can fidget with. So it's nice to see that Disney does continue to think about this and work on it. I have two ideas for ways in which Disney can help make lines a more pleasurable experience. I'm not sure if one is more practical than the other, or if either is to begin with. I'll let you decide. First up, let's get some really elaborate pre-shows going. I mean, to the extent that waiting on a standby queue is as much of a part of the experience as the ride itself. We already have hints of this. Elements like the stretching room in the Haunted Mansion or the library in the Tower of Terror. They act as ways to break up the line while establishing the setting of the ride that you're about to board. Why not take that to its maximum possible extent? I'm talking animatronics and video screens that run the length of the entire queue and add to the narrative of the ride itself. Something that will fully engage guests for 30 to 45 minutes. Imagine waiting in the queue for the upcoming Millennium Falcon ride, themed after a remote starport, hopefully, and all along the queue are various animatronics from aliens and humans passing through the starport. They're split into groups of 2 or 3, having these looping conversations about the galaxy, the war effort, and this famed smuggling ship that's docked there. Each conversation just long enough so that by the time it loops, you've already moved on to the next area. And perhaps give each group a bit of writing that actually ties into the ride's plot in a supplemental way that fleshes out the story for those paying attention. Maybe occasionally trade out animatronics for a screen made to look like a window, similar to Rock and Roller Coaster. Same idea, but with more freedom in what you show since it's not physical. In short, take the premise and spirit of these pre-shows and stretch them out to the entire queue. Would it be expensive? You bet. Would it be realistic? Maybe not. Would it be fun? I think so. This other idea is probably more difficult, but what if we took the concept of a park-wide game like Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom and compressed it into a game for the queue itself? Now, I don't mean a literal copy of Sorcerers. That game is anchored in standing in front of a screen for a few minutes at a time, and that just wouldn't work in a queue where people are always moving. Plus, there wouldn't be enough screens to accommodate everyone, not to mention handing out cards for everyone who rides the ride every time they get in line would become pretty expensive pretty quickly. But what if you replaced the cards and screens with something nearly everyone already has, and something small and portable enough that they can carry it with them along the queue as it moves? Like a smartphone. What if the game wasn't a card combat game, but instead an augmented reality game that uses the setting of the queue as a backdrop along with your phone? Imagine a ride like Mission Breakout over in California, where the queue is loaded with some of the artifacts of Tivian's collection. What if you had to use your phone to scan them in order to find special ones before you get on the ride? Or maybe similar to the way the droid in the Star Tours queue scans luggage, you get to do the scanning with your phone, accruing points whenever you spot contraband. If you want to really extend this idea out to its crazy maximum, imagine a day where the collective results of how people do in these games actually affect the ride experience in some way. Maybe a series of tuning games for the car you design and test track that changes how well it performs during the ride's tests. Again, I'm not saying these are super realistic options. I'm sure there are plenty of details that throw a wrench into these ideas, and I certainly don't expect Disney to try anything like this, but I think it's fun to look at our experiences with these rides and think of ways to enhance them. Lines probably aren't going anywhere in the near future, so the more brainstorming done to make them more enjoyable, the better. Anyway, now I want to hear your ideas. How would you like to see Disney make the line experience more fun? Games? Details? A whole new queue system? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.